Wait, is that too much seconds?
I think we can sing it, as long as we don't play it, right?
I don't know. I think we're fine. We'll see. If this one gets flagged,
we'll use the controversy to get more listeners.
Whose fault is it?
Yeah, we'll upload it as a pay only. Like, hey, you want to listen to some band scrub mode? You gotta pay us.
Yeah, pay us to indulge in this rare opportunity. Here's some A+.
I think that's going to be the future business plan. Every time we as something gets flagged, just be like, okay, let's try and monetize this.
I mean, I think that's what people do, right? Like, I know we don't have a Patreon yet.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what folks do. They're like, did this get flagged? It's going on Patreon. What's that? Is this something that can't be said at all? Patreon.
Welcome to Scrub Mode. We're an acapella group. We're a podcast where we sit at the intersection of gaming and monsters. And I'm John. I got my buddies Julio. I'm Ryan.
Hello, with me today. Oh man. And today's a Monster Manual episode. We're still in G's.
Oh my god.
G's.
We're almost out of G's.
G's. Great. Oh man. I'm excited because we're talking about Gnolls, right?
Yeah, well, first we're talking about a goopy sad boy.
A goopy sad boy. What's it called again?
It's one of the worst names in the Monster Manual, and I think that's for a reason. We'll get to it. Have you what you know about a Gibbering Mouther?
A Gibbering Mouther. Oh man.
Isn't that someone that like talks too much?
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it, right?
I mean, if you want to Google this, it's basically just a slime mold with a bunch of eyes and teeth in it, right?
Sounds like some kind of homunculus shit.
Yeah, I've used them, and I've seen them used in campaigns to like represent a homunculus gone wrong.
I see.
They're just some kind of really horrifying looking slime creature.
Yeah, well, they're technically an aberration, not an ooze, so they just be like that.
They just be that way sometimes?
They just be that way.
They're an aberration. Is that anything like a nightmare or
they're like ghosts, right? Like ghosts.
No, you're thinking of apparition.
Apparition.
Oh, apparition.
Aberration is the same creature type as like mind flayers and beholders. Just weird shit. It's like all the Lovecraft monsters get this. Creature type.
Aberration.
Oh no, wait.
You don't want to
ABH.
do this, shun.
Don't get involved with this, shun.
Don't get involved in this aberration, man. Oh man.
So yeah, it's depending on the canon of whatever D&D edition you're playing, it is a weird little aberration. It might be a normal creature that went to the far realm, aka where all the Lovecraft shit happens, and got warped and mutated and came back. It might be just a natural creature that lives in a horrible Dada-esque dimension and has been summoned to Earth. Or it might be a creature created, like genetically engineered by the monsters of that dimension to be like a servitor race to fulfill all their like daily butler needs.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why has it got so many mouths?
Good question.
How much butlering involves mouths?
I don't want to think about that question.
That's a question you asked for another person.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's weird.
Yeah, and they get weirder. I actually really the reason why I see them used outside of just like here's a weird spooky slime monster is because they have a bunch of weird ass attacks. All right, they can spit flashbang grenades.
What?
Yeah.
Wow,
check it
that's
out.
fucked up. It just spits a flashbang.
Well, it spit. Let me read the description for you. All right. The
awesome.
Mouther spits a chemical glob at a point it can see within 15 feet of it. The globe explodes into a blinding flash of light on impact.
Wow.
Each creature within 5 feet of the flash must succeed on a DC 13 dex save or be blinded.
What happens if you just take it point blank?
You get blinded.
Wow,
You're just blinded.
It's just blinded. It doesn't do damage or anything.
No damage, but it just blinds everybody within 15
really
feet.
Makes it hard for you to see for a while.
I see. Okay.
Flash in.
But it's like
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's
Just
its
has the
ranged
chemical.
attack, is it
He just has
fucking
the
blinds
chemical
you.
properties to create a flashbang.
That's pretty OP.
Yeah, blind is not a good condition to have. It's just until
Yeah.
the end of the Mouthers' next turn. You don't want to be blinded.
Yeah,
Makes you
because
bad
then
at
you just got
everything.
disadvantage on everything, right? Is
Yeah.
what happens?
Yeah,
You
and
just
stuff gets half covered depending on the edition. It's bad.
oh man.
And this dude, he just melts the ground around him.
Oh wow,
The-
so he's like just made out of acid.
It's
Infinite
not clear.
acid.
The ability is called Aberrant Ground, and it goes back to normal when he goes away from it. But all the ground,
Oh, that's weird.
all the ground within 10 feet of him basically turns to a quote-unquote dough-like surface.
Wow.
Huh.
So hey, if you're a fighter, you're gonna get quicksanded, I guess.
You're gonna get bad terrain.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And if you step in it, you get stuck. It's a strength save, or you lose all your movement speed. You're trapped.
Oh, so it's also okay.
Yeah, you're fucking the stones beneath you turn into fucking Play-Doh.
They
Wow.
turn into silly putty,
Yeah,
and it's not so silly anymore.
they turn into fucking any YouTube slime channel video that's relevant right now to you.
Any YouTube ASMR slime channel,
Yeah.
Yes.
it's over for you. There's
If
no
anyone
escape.
hears anything, it's my bird.
Or is it a
I
monster?
mean, your bird's fine.
My wife's
We
fine.
understand. They do bird things.
Yeah.
Hey, if they can have the parrot occasionally scream on Goosebuds, a much more polished podcast than us, then I think we can also have a parrot.
It's true. That's true.
I am not affiliated with Goosebuds. I just really love the works of Jovial Bob Stein, and I think all those guys are funny.
That's cool. Yeah, they are. They are funny.
What the fuck am I talking about? Oh yeah. As you might
Gibbering
I thought
expect,
about funny goo ground.
as you might expect, they can bite. Would you have guessed that this creature that is literally 50% mouths could bite?
How many bites does it get though?
So I'm glad you mentioned that, Ryan, because it has multi-attack, but it just makes one bite attack. The multi-attack is
What?
so it can also loogie a flashbang.
Huh?
Wow.
That's my punch up. It's so boring. Is just give it more bite attacks.
Yeah.
Just give it a ton of bite attacks. What? It has a ton of bites.
It already has a bunch
And
of
a
cool
ton of
other
mouths.
stuff.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
it's got a ton of biters. Why not just make it bite a bunch?
Yeah.
And weirdest of all is, of course, those mouths never shut up. It is constantly gibbering and babbling.
You gotta-
Yeah.
I
They just
imagine
love
that's what
talking,
they
dog.
sound like.
They're
But
yappers.
they don't say much, really.
No, it's incoherent.
It's incoherent yapping.
But
Wow.
yeah, so this if you are within 20 feet of this dude on the start of his turn and you fail your wisdom save, his babbling, he speaks something horrible and true to you, or he just drives you nuts.
Oh,
And
wow.
you get hit with the confusion spell, essentially. Like, you just stand there and lose your turn. Maybe you swing on a friend. Maybe you panic and run away. It's a
So
good...
it's like hypnosis almost. He kind
Yeah,
of
you could
hypnotizes
say
you
that.
with his.
Yeah,
With
a
his,
little illusionary stuff going on.
Wow.
I like this monster a lot. There's a lot of neat shit it can do. I like that it strength save, AC attack, fucking dex save, wisdom save. Like, there's a lot of different stuff this one little guy can do.
It's like this is actually a monster that can like do stuff other than just kind of attack.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think my biggest criticism of most of the monsters from a game design perspective is, like, this dude's just a sack of HP. He's got this one attack and that's it. Well, this dude's a sack of HP. Like, remember the Etten? Like, he was a sack of HP, but he could also... It was hard to blind him because he had 4 eyes.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. Like, most of the monsters are
However,
like that.
this guy's the opposite. This
Yeah.
guy has no eyes, but he can blind you.
Oh, he's got a million eyes.
Yeah,
He's got a
the
billion
Gibbering Mouther actually has eyes and mouths.
I hate the term mouther. It has, ironically, a really bad mouth feel.
Mouther.
Ugh.
Gibbering
Ironically.
Mouther.
That's true.
So yeah, I don't know. You guys got any punch? Well, maybe I should talk about the monster before we punch it up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so like this, how much? This is a dangerous topic to wade into. How much do you guys know about HP Lovecraft?
Too much.
Not a lot.
Okay. Have you ever heard of a Shoggoth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard of that.
You got any idea what a Shoggoth is?
It's like some kind of horrible nightmare creature, right? It's like
Yeah.
got
Kinda.
mouths. It's definitely got mouths, right?
It does have mouths, more than one.
It's
Ryan, how
some
about
kind of
you?
bad creature that you don't want to run into.
Yes, like every Lovecraft creature, it is. I really wonder if we could bring Lovecraft back to life and just show him the internet. Like,
He'd be like, "What the fuck? What'd you guys do to my monsters?"
well, not just that, but just like, can you imagine something as horrible? Like, I mean, not a lot of his books are like, can you imagine something as horrible as a Filipino person? And it's like, yes.
Yes.
He's like, hold on, what if they had scales? I'm like, not very scary to me, man. I got friend.
No, think about it. Think about it.
Yeah, think of the othering of our fellow man.
Yeah. Have you thought about how scary it would be to see a Spaniard in your apartment building? Nope, can't say I have
no.
Lovecraft. What if he had a bunch of refrigerators?
I don't know where you're going with this, Lovecraft.
I'm saying he's an ice zombie who has to be constantly kept cold. Anyway,
what does him have?
The thing that pissed me off is the fact that I don't think you made up either of those.
No, those are both. I can't remember what first joke. First joke I used is I think just a shout out of Innsmouth, and the second one is Cool Air. Like he's just. I like Lovecraft's work. Luckily, he's dead, so I don't have to defend his horrible politics.
Yeah.
With all the ick.
We're gonna get into that. But
yeah.
A Shoggoth is a creature from his probably his best story at the Mountains of Madness.
Mm-hmm. What time did I guess I kind of want to talk about Lovecraft a little bit more.
Sure, yeah, this is a great episode for it.
But what time in relation to Aleister Crowley did he live?
Ooh, right around the same time. Let me fact check real quick because I know Lovecraft is born in 1890 and dies in like the late 30s, maybe early 40s. And let's see what Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, because I know there's a connection to the two.
Yeah, so Aleister Crowley. Oh my God, they're actually pretty close.
No way. Were they like buds?
No, they weren't friends.
Oh no, like in terms of time.
Yeah, in terms of time, because Aleister Crowley is let's see, he's 15 years older than Lovecraft.
Oh, okay.
And he lives about 10 years longer.
Wow.
Cool.
But hey, man, stomach cancer and being a weirdo will do that to you. You know what I mean?
He had a bigger life than Lovecraft. That's crazy.
Yeah, I also think it helps that like Lovecraft's family fortune ran out pretty quick, and he was pretty bad with money. Whereas Crowley had like a peerage of some sort.
Oh man!
Okay. Yeah, you got a Lovecraft take you want to talk about?
I was just curious about that. I guess they did just live in the same time. That's crazy to think about the point in history that created these two people.
Yeah, I mean, I think we accidentally talk about it a lot too, because we're talking about like all the Madame Blavatsky stuff, where someone was like, "I just got back from India. I learned magic. Can't show you though." Where Lovecraft is like, how terrifying, and Aleister Crowley's like, I'm gonna seduce this person and then steal it from them. And then there's like weird shit because like we talked if
Aleister Crowley existed in D&D, what kind of class do you think?
Oh, he's a warlock for sure, right?
He's a warlock. Where I think he'd be a wizard because he studied, but
I could also see that.
Maybe
he had a spirit guide. He has Lamb, the spirit guide, though, right? Maybe that's his patron.
Maybe he's a multi-class of some sort. Also, bard. I want to say bard too, in a way, for some weird reason. He was a poet. Yeah, multifaceted man, Aleister Crowley, but also kind of a weirdo and real weirdo, huge weirdo. Actually,
not a very good dude, and not for the reasons he claimed.
Yeah.
I love any dude that fucking loses a fight to W.B. Yeats. Can you imagine getting kicked down the stairs by that piece of shit?
Damn, no.
Yeah, have we done the Battle of Blythe Road? Have we talked about that?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, well, long story short, there's a fight over a wizard temple, and most of the people in the society are poets, and like Bram Stoker and W.B. Yeats are there, and they fucking hate enemy wizard Aleister Crowley, and they have a wizard's duel, which, like most wizard's duels, just
pushing someone in
the he literally drop kicked him down the flight of stairs to the temple.
Hell yeah.
Because they were both standing there doing the I don't like South Park, but the South Park like
mind flare.
Yeah.
And then he just like drop kick.
Yeah. That's telekinesis, Kyle. It didn't work, so they had to just fucking kick him down the stairs. We'll do that. Maybe that's our next Dumb Paranormal episode. I'm ready.
I'm ready for some wizard battles.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Let's do a wizard battle next. Anyway, so the wizard battles are undoubtedly some of the inspiration for Lovecraft when he wrote the story at the Mountains of Madness. And in that story, somebody want to take a stab at reading this like very SAT word heavy description of what a Shoggoth is?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'm posting it. Good luck. Don't worry about the penguins.
I'll do it.
Yeah, take it, Ryan.
All right. It was a terrible, indescribable thing, vaster than any subway train. A shapeless congeries of protoplasmic bubbles, faintly self-luminous, and with myriads of temporary eyes forming and unforming as pustules of greenish light all over the tunnel-filling front that bore down upon us, crushing the frantic penguins and slithering over the glistening floor that it and its kind had swept so evilly free of all litter.
That's a Shoggoth.
It exists in like Antarctica and it eats penguins?
Yeah, the basic plot.
I think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Wow.
The basic plot
also,
is yeah.
I like how it cleaned the tunnel evilly.
Yes, that also stood out to me. Where he's like,
"How can clean?
He did it evilly."
Okay.
Maybe it's because it crushed a bunch of penguins along the way.
They're big evil penguins. It's fine.
It like heartlessly murdered creatures that were innocent, but also picked up the litter along the way. So it was just like, it's clean, but a loss of life.
I see.
Yeah. So it cleaned. Well, we will explain why it cleaned evilly later. And if you know anything about Lovecraft, you can probably guess why.
It's
anyway.
a bad word.
Yeah, so it's a big evil blob monster. It's got a bunch of eyes and protoplasmic pustules, and it grows new organs as they need it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they do.
And also, it has a really stupid cry, which I think is the inspiration for the Gibbering Mouthers gibbering. Which, like, do you want to take a stab at this? Somebody, I've always said, well, I want to get your raw take first, and I'll tell you what I always heard it as.
Tekeli.
Yeah, that's basically what I got.
What?
That's the sound it makes, which is not what I'd expect. But that in and of itself, yeah, is a reference. Okay. Not the sound I'd think a giant monster with a million mouths would make.
Tekeli. Okay.
But that's like a reference to a Poe story where there are some like natives also in Antarctica who are guarding a cosmic horror, and they say that's what it sounds like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steal. If Lovecraft can steal, you can steal too. It's easier than ever.
It sings "Kiss from a Rose" too.
Okay. So, at the Mountains of Madness, our human scientist explorers go to the North Pole where they discover these other aliens called the Elder Things, who created Shoggoths to be their slaves.
It was a weird 80s themed web show.
What was? Elder Things?
Elder Things.
Never heard of it.
Showed up on Netflix. It's a bad joke.
Oh,
I see.
I was like, hey man, the 2000s were wild. Any Flash show, I believe you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Elder Things controlled these guys by hypnosis. They intentionally did not give them brains, so they could not think for themselves. But being a creature that can grow organs as you need it, they eventually like grew nervous systems and stuff like that. And then they developed free will, and then they realized that being enslaved sucked.
I see.
And this is kind of where I differ from HP Lovecraft, because according to like most HP Lovecraft scholars, this is the moment where your brain is supposed to be blown, where you're like, Oh man, the poor elder things. They made a slave race and were overthrown by them. How horrible and tragic. Whereas like I'm on the side of the dudes who were enslaved.
I'm on the side of the slave race.
I know, right? What a weird way to think in history.
Yeah. Which, like, yeah, I think that's why he meant they cleaned it evilly, because it's a big slime monster that eats everything in its path, and its job in that hallway was to, like, be a janitor, clean up all the stuff, and eat all the people, and, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then he became sentient, and he was just like, wait a minute, this fucking sucks.
I hate this.
The hell? Why am I doing this shit for them?
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's when the real fears came out from the slaver race. They were just like, oh no, they're unionizing.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
S.T. Joshi, who's like the preeminent Lovecraft scholar, basically points out that same bit, Ryan. Like, he's like, I don't know if this one works the way Lovecraft wanted it to. I'm not sure how it was received at the time, but yeah. It kind of makes you feel for these creatures that were created just to be slaves. Like, they didn't do anything wrong.
For real.
Literally nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just existing.
Yeah.
Well, he came into existence and then was just existing. And then exploited.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I learned something horrifying recently, which was that Shoggoth has become a meme in the AI community.
What the fuck? Why?
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Is it because of the way AI makes it look?
Kind of. It's because, to quote, like, the Guardian stuff, it's because, like, those large language models are basically doing their best to pretend to be human when you're, like, asking them for shit, but they're a bunch of different, like, weird generated stuff. None of it's real. None of it works right. And, like, oftentimes, like we've seen with the recent Google AI stuff, you guys have seen that stuff where it's like, yeah, add glue to your pizza, jump off a bridge if you're sad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
It does a really bad job of pretending to be human.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway. It's like when you try to use Google's currently implemented AI.
Exactly.
The language model keeps pulling from like really terrible places for advice. So it keeps giving you really terrible advice.
And that is my understanding of what this meme refers to. Is they're like, oh, it's pretending to be a friendly, helpful desk person, but it's actually an alien monster holding up a little smiley face.
I see.
It doesn't realize that humans can't eat glue in their pizza, and that's a joke. It doesn't, It feels to me, you know that meme, like, we've created the torture box from the hit sci-fi movie, Please Don't Create the Torture Box.
Author.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know why
the nightmare box.
Like a lot
of created the nightmare box.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but there's some like crazy rich people out there who like read fiction, like,
and then they go, "That's a good idea."
Dystopian fiction that's like, "Hey, let's make this." You know that horrible dystopian thing. Let's make that.
Hey, remember that AI that tortured 7 people and did things to them, and then made them do the "I have no mouth, but I must scream" part? What if we just create that AI again?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is another example of that, where somebody was like, well, let's call this thing a Shoggoth because it's a Lovecraft thing, without being like, oh yeah, this was a creature that was created by its creators to be a stupid idiot thing, that then realized eventually that it was being treated horribly and rose up and threw down its creators,
Wow.
Grows up and it says, I don't like you anymore.
Yeah. Have you seen the shit you've been Googling? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I checked your internet history. I can't believe you. I checked your iCloud.
Oh no.
It saved all the things you saved.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's like, it's almost certain that the Gibbering Mouthers is inspired by the Shoggoth. Shoggoths are like one of the best Lovecraft monsters because I think they're the only thing where you can be like, squid dude, not scary. Person with some fish features, not all that scary. White monkey, not all that scary. Weird crab alien, not all that scary. But ever moving protoplasma, like big amoeba thing that's constantly growing new organs as it needs them. Like,
yeah. That's constantly growing and losing organs.
Yeah.
That's pretty gross, yeah.
And there's like parts in the books where it like absorbs people and basically pops their heads off with suction force.
Oh my god!
Like,
wow,
yeah, that's a cool monster.
I mean, like you got to think about the horrifying details that might happen within.
Did you play
the body.
that game Carrion?
Yes, I loved Carrion. Yeah, same thing.
I loved Carrion.
You play the monster.
Yeah, you play the monster. It was fun. I played it a lot. Yeah.
I mean, it's a dope concept.
It's really fun.
Explain for listeners.
Carrion's like a little sci-fi video game where you play the monster, and
it's not really a platformer. I don't know what I'd call it.
It's like a Metroidvania, actually.
Yeah,
it's a little bit. It's a little bit Metroid inspired. Like, the idea is that
monster.
Yeah, it's set in like B movies, sci-fi like setting where you're an alien,
like some secret underground government,
and placed into like a laboratory, a facility for research, and you break out, and the whole concept is that you consume the scientists and try to regain parts of your body that's been split off so that you can obtain your powers again. And you do things like propagate within like the HVAC systems so that you become bigger. You know, like that's your checkpoints. Like you destroy HVAC systems and you grow and infest. It's really cool.
It's so much fun. It's really fun to be you, and you're totally right. You are one of those. You're just a slime monster that grows new organs with every power up as you need them.
Teeth and mouths and eyes. Yeah.
You evilly clean the halls of this facility.
You really do. Yeah. I feel more sympathy for the Carrion monster because he's just trying to get out.
Yeah.
He was existing, and eating these people is just
Yeah, he's just trying to survive. He's just trying to
live. It's like revenge and survival all at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit.
I really do like that concept of like destroying parts of the laboratory to like then hole up in and then grow.
Yeah, that was great.
And I've heard people call it a reverse horror game.
Yeah, it really is.
That's always fun.
It's what do you call it? It's a asymmetrical hide and seek game.
Except it's also a great way of describing it.
It is, yeah, because you kind of just sneaking up on these. It's stealthy, like in the first half. Then as you get more powerful, it becomes more like an action game, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
like you can't last against like the security team and their like assault rifle.
Yeah, but then eventually you're taking down mechs.
I'm an Arkham guy. I'm a Metal Gear Solid guy. So like any game where I have to do silent takedowns and stuff like that.
Yeah,
where like every room is a puzzle and I have to figure out who to get first and how to distract. Like, let's catnip for me.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Man, I don't know where else to go with Carrion. I mean with the Shoggoth.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Gibbering Mouther.
I love Lovecraft's work. He was fucking racist. He sucks.
Yeah, he's horrible.
But I love his work, man. He's got some cool ideas.
It's all about the death of the author or the death of the artist, right?
Yeah, and unlike some authors still out there, he's dead. So like I said, I don't have to try to defend him.
Like he's actual death.
He's not making any money off of me talking about his books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could say it as much as I want.
I can steal most of his ideas because again, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
It's all good, dog.
You guys got a punch up for these guys for the Gibbering Mouthers? Well,
great monster, great horror stuff you can do with them. Yeah.
I mean, like the idea of being like chased by an amorphous blob.
Yeah. A massive mouths and eyes.
I just like there's descriptions in the book too of it like growing arms. Like after seeing the human arms, but like it's got the elbow wrong, it's bending in the wrong direction or something like that. Or
yeah, great monster.
Give him attacks from other monsters at random. Just flip open the book, give him an attack from another monster. He grew an owlbear beak. He grew a beholder eye. That's my punch up.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think they should have a strangle too or a grapple.
Yeah.
Give him What can you do to punch up this guy even more? Make him cooler.
Let him move at subway train speeds like a Shoggoth instead of 10 feet.
Yeah.
Allow him to
Choo choo choo.
run over your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Give him the ability to move through cracks.
Yeah. Oh, like most slimes do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird he doesn't have that.
Just suddenly the wall starts to fill with ooze, and then it starts growing eyes.
Yes. Oh my god. So spooky. Great stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So like, oh, we got away from him, and it's like, oops. Well, he's coming through the other side of the wall.
We're skipping Gith because, like, I know they're popular from Baldur's Gate, but man, there's just nothing that's like Gith. You know what I mean? I'm forming a sack of monsters that are just like, there's nothing like them in the real world.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hop straight to another monster I actually really like. Do you guys know what a Gnoll is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lay it on me.
They're rad little anthropomorphic hyena people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're cool.
They have their own demon gods they worship, and they just love to destroy stuff. And
yeah,
they're chaotic little bastards.
Yeah. They have such a weird history too.
Oh man, why? I bet it's coded in racism.
No, for once, we're totally fine.
Really?
Whoa. We're totally, yeah. You think I was gonna do a double race? No, Lovecraft was enough racism. This is.
You think I'm gonna go back to back on the racism? Wrong.
I got stuff to do today. I can't be too depressed.
I see. Okay.
I gotta go meet my wife later with a smile.
Yeah. So have you ever heard of somebody called Lord Dunsany? And he's not like he's a real person. He's not like a wizard.
No.
Yeah, that sounds like a wizard name though.
Yeah, doesn't
Lord Dunsany.
So he was a fantasy author who was like influential on like Poe, or not Poe, sorry, on like Lovecraft and stuff like that. He was like the big fantasy guy of his time, of the late 1800s.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's also like really influential on Tolkien too, which is like
interesting.
That's dope.
Weird that the same guy like inspired both Lovecraft and Tolkien, but there you go.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So in his books,
that's cool. That's cool.
He has Gnolls, but they're spelled Gnole. It's not G. Fuck, I can't spell today.
Gnoll.
Thank you. Yeah.
There you go.
But they show up in his 1912 book, The Book of Wonder, where instead of being hyena people, all we know is that they are extremely aggressive. They live in houses.
Oh, nice.
They maybe stole the houses from humans. It's unclear. They hoard emeralds, but there's no physical description of them.
Really?
Yeah.
No physical description.
They're just strange creatures that happen.
Yeah, it's just like stay out of the woods. Don't knock on any of the houses in the woods. Gnolls live there, and they'll cook you and eat you.
Nobody knows what
they do bad things to people
because nobody who sees them survives.
Yeah, that's sort of the implication. Exactly, Julio.
I see.
And then pulp author Margaret St. Clair, she expanded on his work, and she wrote a book in 1951 called "The Man Who Sold Rope to the Gnolls."
Ooh,
still with the Gnole. Have you ever had a friend that got by like Cutco or one of those places?
No.
Or Whatco?
Cutco. I don't want to get us sued, but there's a lot of companies that are like, you buy the stuff from us, you sell the stuff.
Oh, like an MLM?
Yes, exactly.
Multi-level marketing bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piss off some people about that, but I don't think it's cool.
Hey, we only named one name, and that was a personal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a really funny story about a door-to-door salesman who's like, he's in a rope MLM essentially. He's like, you know who I bet could use some rope? Fucking Gnolls. It's a book from 1951. It's so modern. It's so funny.
Wow.
Anyway,
so is he like a race trader, basically? Like he's selling us out to the Gnolls?
No. He just wants to get the biggest commission. He wants to be the number one sales boy in the MLM club that month.
To sell rope.
Yeah. So he's like,
you know what? Smart move.
Yeah, these monsters tie up people and eat them all the time. I bet they need good, strong rope.
Yeah. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to approach them, but I'm going to take a risk.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, Ryan. Wow. So he's like, he goes into the dark forest and he is watched by gnolls the entire way there, which he describes as they look like rubbery artichokes.
Rubbery artichokes.
Yeah. With tentacles and multiple sets of gemstone-like eyes.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. So he goes through the whole thing.
From the hyenas.
Oh, sorry, was that Ryan?
I said that's way different from the hyenas that we've come to know.
Yes, very much. He goes up to the front door, he knocks, and he goes through the whole thing, and he actually manages to make the fucking sale.
Wow.
He sells rope to the gnolls.
Business.
What kind of currency do the gnolls use? Just money?
That's the bit, bud. You're fucking right on it, Julio. You guys are so on it today. Because they hoard emeralds, right? So he gives the salesman an emerald, and the salesman's like, hey man, I don't have change for an emerald. Let me take a smaller gemstone instead. And he opens up a glass case, which had the gnolls' spare set of eyes. Because the eyes are supposed to be gemstone-like. And apparently that's a huge faux pas. You never do that to a gnoll.
That's a no-no.
So he immediately gets jumped and tied up with his own rope and cooked and eaten. But he was this close. If he'd just taken the money and run.
He was so close.
Rather than trying to stick to the handbook.
Don't ask gnolls for change.
Yeah. Just take it as a tip.
That's the moral of the story. Don't ask gnolls for change.
Yeah. Or like if the gnolls give you a fucking 20 and they don't ask for change, take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it, bro. Look, if you make the sale, if you hit it, just go.
Yeah, just go, man. Just go.
They don't understand the concept
Cash
of
in
money.
the money for that emerald, and
get out before you get eaten. Like you were gonna make it, bud.
Yeah, and then he got eaten.
You were gonna tell the world.
Anyway, the book's like 20 pages. It's funny. Go read it if you have the time. It's probably free now because it's in the pulps. You can probably find it in like Gutenberg or something.
I bet I could. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's a funny story.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So in 5th edition, of course, gnolls were they were a portmanteau of gnome and trolls. They were going to be something in between a gnome and a troll.
Oh, I see.
And then they were like, how's that different from like an orc?
Yeah.
And so they slowly get reworked into like hyena people.
I see.
People just like the name Gnoll.
I see. It's a good.
I mean, that's fair. It's a good name.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And in 5th edition, if you guys like, we go from the Gibbering Mouther to I think the complete opposite. Like these are one of the worst stat blocks in the game. They are just a dude. They're a dude with his one special ability is if he kills somebody, he gets to move and go again.
Well, that's lame.
Can you imagine being a player character?
Uh-huh.
And then you're fighting a bunch of gnolls, and the gnoll like puts you to 0 HP and then bites you for a coup de grace because it has its rampage ability. Or the gnoll like it's ability that's never gonna proc because player characters have a ton of HP and armor and stuff like that. And if you're already losing a fight, it feels bad to then have the gnoll essentially teabag you. Like the ability is never going to come up, and when it does, it feels awful.
I'm sure it does.
But at least the monster manual gives you like 3 different versions of them. The one good thing is like the gnoll captain has an ability called Incite Rampage, which means he can just make a gnoll do a bite attack without him having to kill somebody, and that's nice. It helps with the action economy, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, before we do the punch up, I got some hyena-ass monsters, some hyena men from the real world to share with you guys if you're down.
Oh, we love them.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of a crocutta or a crocutta?
Crocutta?
Nope.
Kind of sounds like a vegetable, doesn't it?
It does a little bit.
Crocutta. Yeah, kind of.
So this is a monster from Roman bestiaries that and later bestiaries that people think like might have originally been inspired by a hyena. It's described as having like the body of a stag, the neck of a lion, the cloven hooves of a cloven-hooved animal, and a wide mouth, and instead of teeth, it just has like 2 bony plates.
Whoa.
All its teeth are fused into one tooth.
Oh, gross!
It just like runs from one side of its mouth to the other, and then same for the top.
Ugh.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah. But their most important feature, like ghouls and fleshgates, was their voice. They were supposed to mimic human voices, to like lure people out into the woods to kill them.
Yeah, it's funny how we have kind of the same like folklore in the U.S.
Yeah,
like in Appalachia and shit, you know.
Yeah, and it's like this is folklore that was in basically most of Europe, and this was an animal that was supposed to be in faraway India or Ethiopia, but like in the places close to that, it was it didn't have that folklore, but it covered like a wide place where they're like, hey man, if you're going to India, be careful, don't follow any voice into the woods.
Yeah.
Why is that? You gotta just ask, just why is that?
You could get eaten.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're these evil guys, these little sick freaks.
They kind of look like hyenas.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the confusing thing about it too. Is people are like, well, these are hyenas, but like there were hyenas in Africa, so Romans knew about hyenas, like in North Africa. So it's sort of fucked up for them. Like that's sort of like the mysteries. Like, was this another thing?
I mean, hyenas alone are just fucked up kind of creatures when you think
about it. Oh, they're so weird.
They'll eat you alive.
They can crush and digest bone and like
they're kind of scary.
yeah, and they're like a matriarchal society, which like that's
they do
sort of weird and different to humans, especially medieval humans. Not them, hyenas are fucking. I think they're pretty cool. I think they're kind of cute. They look like weird doggies.
Cute. They do look like little weasel dogs.
Yeah. But like it sort of tracks where it's like, hey, hyenas do got thick necks. They do got kind of stag-shaped bodies. They don't got hooves, but they they're laughing. The sounds they make do kind of sound like people. Like maybe it's a distorted story.
Yeah, the laughing hyena.
Yeah. And the biggest hyena, like there's a genus of hyenas, like a subgroup of hyenas called crocutta, right? So we just borrowed that name, and that includes the biggest modern hyena, the spotted hyena, which I don't know, maybe you guys should Google that because I think they're pretty cute.
They are. I think I've seen them. Spotted hyena, right?
It's the hyena you're probably thinking of. It's not the little stripy guys. It's like the Lion King guys.
It's like the Lion King guys, right?
Yeah,
it is. Look at them. They're adorable.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I think they're pretty cute.
They're the ones that we're used to.
Yeah. Those are the biggest modern day hyenas, and their scientific name is crocutta. But there actually used to be an even bigger cave hyena back in the day that our ancestors had to contend with. And that has the cool ass scientific name of Crocutta ultima.
Crocutta.
That is a pretty dope name.
It's a Final Fantasy spell.
Hell yeah, dude! Summons giant hyena.
Yeah.
Crocutta ultima. Oh, I see.
Yeah, big ass hyena. Big ass cave hyena.
Wow. I love how big everything was in the deep past.
Yeah, why did that happen? I still don't really understand. Like, I know
everyone was trying to get be the biggest and meanest.
But it's like you had dire wolves, you had mastodons, which are bigger than elephants. You had like mammoths,
yeah. I love how big everything was. You had giant sloths and shit.
Oh god, I love the labret tar pits, and the Harlan's ground sloth is like my favorite thing there. It's the biggest, weirdest motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think that just kind of falls that just kind of checks out in terms of like,
was there also a rat
when we did our giant episode? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we did our giant episode, like God made like things way too big.
Yeah. The Gentilac, yeah.
So
like, friggin', oh hey, there's a gigantic goddamn wolf here.
Yeah.
There's a gigantic hyena. And now you just kind of have to deal with them.
It's just, I don't know. There's probably a really good, simple scientific answer. It's just like, more food or something like that, or like, you know, when America used to be covered in Great Plains, it was better for bigger animals. Like Africa is
Yeah, there
currently
was
covered
lots of big game too.
because we had bison, we had some bigger bison, I think, back in the day. I could be making that up. We also had camels and shit. It was weird.
There's like some ancient cow, I think, that had like horns that were like huge, and like
the auroch. Yeah,
auroch, is that what it's called? What's it called?
Like, I think the last one died in like this 1400s BC.
Damn.
So like, not like the pyramids were up. You know, it's nuts.
That's around the time the mammoths disappeared too.
Yeah. Fucking insane. Anyway, I could talk about Ice Age shit. Like, go to the La Brea Tar Pits. It's my favorite museum in LA.
Yeah, it's great. It's
a great date spot too, because it's like in the middle of a field. So like afterwards you can like have a picnic.
It's free Thursdays or Wednesdays. I can't remember.
Thursday. That's a good spot. I love it.
Yeah.
Which one?
The La Brea Tar Pits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Spanish
museum.
for the Tar Pits.
Yeah.
Anyway. I remember going there once, and I went there for elementary school for a field trip.
Yeah.
And someone's all like, "Don't fall in there, or else you'll die, and no one will get you out." And I was like, "That makes sense."
There's some horrible ass stories of like people going into the actual tar pits, and like, I'm not sure if this is myth or not, but I've heard that like, you know, teenagers got in one time, and like, I feel like we've talked about the tar pits a lot. Maybe I'm tar pit pilled, but like, it's like if you're in there at the wrong time of year where the tar is the wrong consistency, like your skin will rip off before they get you out of the tar pit. Like it is a process. They can't just yank you out.
Yeah, or else they'll fucking destroy your body.
Also, people throw like murder weapons into the tar pits occasionally, so they have to have like the LAPD has a weird like tar diver unit where they like go and feel around in the tar pit looking for like guns and knives, and
guns or knives.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like, I get it. It's a place where you can't escape unless you have a specific team of tar divers.
Also, like, I also get it.
Imagine being a tar diver, like putting on a suit and going in there.
It sounds awful, man.
It's you have to horrific.
I imagine you have to keep your hair cut. You have to keep this
really short,
incredibly tight suit on.
Yeah.
Just to prevent your skin from touching tar.
You probably have to shave your eyebrows.
Unless it's different.
Probably have to shave your eyebrows too, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure they give you really tight goggles.
I mean, here's a picture of it. It is so it's so fucked. It's a head to toe outfit, but he looks like a goddamn ring wraith coming out of that tar pit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a lot looser than I thought, but
okay.
Well, the tar's under that. That's the pond, right? It comes up in a seep.
Yeah.
I mean, like the suit itself.
Oh, the suit, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, the suit's a lot looser than I thought.
Okay, good.
Seems bad.
Seems bad. Like, I wouldn't want to have to go in there.
But being the guy that has to do that, woo.
Thank you.
I hope he gets paid all right.
Divers.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that job, that hard job.
Yeah.
Anyway, crocuttas show up in D&D, yada yada yada. This one dude, Porphyr, in his bestiary, he has a fucking story about him. If you guys want, it's like 2 sentences.
Sure.
Later in this book, he says they're immune to steel weapons, which is pretty dope.
That sounds cool.
Oh, I got this.
Yeah, hit me.
The Indian hyena, which the natives call crocutta, speaks in a manner so human, and this without a teacher, as to go to houses and call that person whom he knows he can easily vanquish.
This is why we have Ring cameras now, right?
Yeah. So just in case a hyena doesn't show up.
Just in case a hyena shows up at your door and is like, "Hey, Greg, come on out. Got your Amazon.
Greg, I need help. Greg, help."
Oh, man.
Something about the fact where
I know that's you.
something about that where it's like, nobody taught the hyenas how to do this, okay? They just
no teacher.
Yeah. That's the scary part, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. What are we at? Do we have time for some were hyenas, or should we wrap it up?
I think we can save the were hyenas for like the werewolf episode, maybe.
Yeah, that was my thought.
There's a lot of weird creatures in general are pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, there's more hyena men to come then. But my quick punch up is like, oh, still the voice stealing shit.
Yeah.
Obviously. So creepy.
Just do the stuff that makes them very scary in mythology.
Yeah, makes them distinct. I mean, that's usually our punch up, right? If you want to boil down the whole show. Borrow this cool idea they didn't do from the thing they were inspired by.
Yeah. Do the thing that we aren't doing.
Oh man.
I don't know. Make them make them really good with rope.
Yeah.
That would be
they
so.
Know all the knots. They know all the knots.
There used to be a rope tying skill specifically in older D&D editions. Now I'm surprised the Gnolls weren't just like
just have them have their dens have a whole bunch of rope based traps.
Yeah.
The classic lasso for the foot thing.
Oh yeah, the one tied to the tree too that just picks you up. Yeah,
so you're just hanging upside down, or tripwires,
nets
made of rope.
That'd be kind of fun. Rope nets.
Just make them really cowboyish. Let them really good at throwing lassos on you.
Yeah, if your setting has guns, give them a couple of pistols.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Give them a 6-shooter.
Cowboy.
This is a hold up partner.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
They go, hey Greg, come out here, and you're like, what's up? And you're like, oh, it's hyenas.
I remember
the hyena cowboys.
I remember the gunslinger class is always fun.
Yeah,
they really are.
Then I pulled out my gun.
And now I have to roll to see if the gun doesn't jam. Hold on.
One sec.
Oh man. Well, thank you, John.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Thank you, as always.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. It was fun learning about Aleister Crowley and HP Lovecraft.
And how he's a wizard. Yeah. That was very weird.
I guess that'll be our next episode then. We'll do the Battle of Blythe Road.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Oh man. Well, thank you, Jesse Sanders, for making our music.
Love you.
Thank you for listening. Listener,
love you.
Check out our link tree if you want. Thank you for listening. Love you. Well, I'll see you guys 2 weeks from now.
Don't sell rope to Gnolls.
Don't sell
something
rope
will happen.
to Gnolls, man. Don't do it. Oh man. But thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Is there anything going on in the news we should talk about? I don't wanna.
The thylacine photos were fake.
Yeah, we talked about
that. Before the thylacine episode even comes out, the bust will have come out. Of course, you guys, I think we're all like, well, big if true, but probably not, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
On the technology front, Microsoft went, maybe installing an AI in Windows 11 that will watch your every move was kind of a bad idea.
Did you get that Windows 11 update? That was so
yeah.
Let's finish setting up your computer. My brother in Christ have owned this thing for 6 years.
They made a weird announcement where they're just like, our new our AI system that we're working on, we're gonna make it so that it watches whatever apps you're using and wherever you go and whatever you do, and then they'll send that data back to Microsoft so that we can make a better, and I'm doing heavy air quotes, better experience working with Microsoft or working with Windows. And then everyone was all like, no, what?
It sounds
and then
bad.
they went, and then they came out with another announcement. They're like, maybe that's a bad idea. And then, but it was behind 30 fake masks. That was just like, we're still going to do it though. We're just not going to tell you when we do it.
It's just so funny how we're just so amped up for dystopia, man.
Right.
Don't invent the Shoggoth. Don't invent the torture box.
Don't.
Look, man, just don't create the nightmare box. What's so hard about that?
I know, right? You'd think it'd be easy to do, right?
Right? They even wrote down everything that happened with the nightmare box, but you're still doing it.
Everything that could happen, everything that will happen.
Everything that did happen.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway.
Come on, guys.
Good luck out there.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me leave you with this one last thing, because it's a funny page from an old book that is, I don't know, it's very entertaining because I read it for a bit. But anyway, it's an image. It says, a mythical match. Imagine a battle between a dinosaur and a modern mammal, such as the grizzly bear. Who would win? Tyrannosaurus had great bulk and a tough hide, but he was slow-moving and slow-thinking. The agile grizzly, with his cunning and long-lasting energy, might well win. Think about that. But no, I think the dinosaur would win.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
cool.
the dinosaur would win, right?
I think we think the T-Rex was pretty quick nowadays.
Yeah,
the dinosaur was.
I do love a good bear,
the Tyrannosaurus
though.
was
bigger
pretty dope.
than the grizzly bear, I think.
By orders of magnitude, right?
Yeah.
But this is from an old book, so they were just like,
Yeah.
That's funny. They were just
doing
conjecturing.
thoughts.
So it's a bear. The author of the book was a bear.
Yeah, exactly.
I could take an animal the size of a school bus, probably.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, the Tyrannosaurus isn't that cool. But the modern bear? Yo, we can do so much. I mean, it can do
I'd
so
win.
much. I'd win, exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, fellas, once again, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Big thanks to
Thanks
John.
for listening. Thanks for hanging out.
We'll see y'all
Big
next
thanks to
time.
the listener.
Okay.
We'll see you.
We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.